Welcome to this new moon reading for August the 12th. My name is Renata Ash from the School of Sacred Drumming, and I'm really honored to be here with you on this supercharged new moon, because it happens to also be the day of the first eclipse of this eclipse season. And we are in the star sign of Leo. And that is significant in itself. So a new moon is always the beginning, and having the eclipse layered upon it is additional power, is additional movement, I would think. And eclipses are always a kind of carry the unexpected. They really do. And some of us feel the eclipses, the energy of the eclipse coming closer for days before the actual event. The eclipse is tonight in my time frame. And it's not always pleasant, but it is something that churns something up, that breaks something open. And so this is a full solar eclipse. And what happens at the solar eclipse is that the moon temporarily moves in front of the sun. And if you consider that the moon stands for the subconscious, for our that which we don't let people see, our shadows, if you like. And the sun stands for us. It is me. The sun is me. The sun is you in the horoscope. So what does this mean? That the sun, I am temporarily obscured by my subconscious, so that perhaps the picture, the image that I want to transmit to the world, that actually is overshadowed by the moon, by that which is in my subconscious, which is stored there. So I've been thinking about this actually for the last few days. And while our shadows will be brought up, I think there's another angle to this as well. And that is that perhaps this time, with the sun in Leo and this whole thing happening in the star sign of Leo, we are asked to allow ourselves to be seen as we truly are. And by that I mean to let other people see our brilliance, our radiance, our light. And how often do we hide that away? How often do we lack the courage to let ourselves seen in all our magnificence? And don't make a mistake about that. We are all magnificent. We are beautiful beings. And yet we succumb to the dictates of our society, of our friends perhaps, of our family circle. So Leo is the fierce one, the courageous one, the shining one, the proud one. So maybe, just maybe, you would like to consider this idea that this eclipse invites you to let yourself be seen in your totality, in your true light, in your authenticity. And wouldn't that be wonderful if we all had the courage to let ourselves be seen, truly seen? And what would that mean with your family, with your friends? Would that be resistance? Probably. But the question is always, for how long do we want to hide our light under the bushel? And that's what so many of us, me too, have been doing for a long, long time. So perhaps this eclipse and this new moon is a fantastic opportunity And I just would like you to consider that possibility. And I have remembered, as I was thinking about this, I remembered this beautiful quote by Marianne Williamson. I think it's originally attributed to Nelson Mandela, but I haven't found sources for that. So I'm just going to read it to you. You know it anyway, but just to remind you. So she writes in her book, A Return to Love, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Who are we not to be all that we are? So let's get to our card reading. You know, the sacred drumming medicine cards, that's the cards. Those are the cards I'm using because I know them really well. Steven and I, we created this card deck at a very difficult time in our lives. When I had understood that in reality, I didn't have control, true control over my life, over anything. I couldn't control other people. I couldn't control my health. I couldn't control my path. I couldn't prevent Stephen's health challenge. And that really woke me up. So let's see. Oh, I think once more. So, well, so interesting and not at all what I was expecting. But actually very much, I think, what's happening. So the first card is the card of being alone. It's a North card. The North in the medicine wheel is all about being alone. And it talks about courage too, because we need to have courage when life is difficult. And so being alone is perhaps a blessing because it takes us back to ourselves, to our true self. Who are we when everything else is stripped away? It's a really powerful card. Who am I? When everything that I have created and adapted to serve me and the picture, the image I want to present to the world, when all of that is stripped away and I am alone, just as I am. And the second card talks about healing. Wow. So perhaps this eclipse and this new moon Perhaps they are about healing. We can only be of service to the divine plan for this world, for ourselves, for humanity, if we have healed our inner wounds. And isn't one of the biggest wounds the wound that says, I am not good enough the way I am. I need to be someone else to the world outside in order to be accepted. And here comes the courage from the north, from the first card. It takes a lot of courage to be yourself. But the call, the invitation for it is here. We can heal ourselves. It's us who have to do it. And then the last card really surprised me. That's all about listening. But then when I think about it, it goes perfectly with this. To listen to our inner voice, to the voice that speaks the truth about who we are, where we need to go, what we need to do, what our purpose is. The answers are all there already in that hidden inner part of us. Perhaps we need to go more into our heart to be able to listen. And perhaps we need to become very still. And perhaps then the healing can happen. So I don't think there's another card that is needed. This seems to me very, very clear and very aligned with what I have been feeling about this new moon and this eclipse. So I wish you a wonderful evening. Perhaps you will be able to see the eclipse. Don't look into it. I'm just saying. I'm sure you've heard this many times already. Don't look into the sun or into the eclipsed sun. And I really wish for you that these next 2 weeks until the lunar eclipse at the full moon, that these 2 weeks may be fruitful for you and that you may find that part of you, or you begin to communicate with that part of you that knows who you are. And I wish you the courage to live more from that path. I think if we can do that, our lives will truly blossom. So thank you very much for being with me at this time. And until we meet again at the full moon in 2 weeks' time, blessed be. Have a good time. Much love. Thank you. It's never happened before, but when I'd finished the first card reading, I was looking at the cards again and I felt intuitively there was something I had forgotten to say, and so I looked at the cards and then it became very, very clear. Look at this card. That is the eclipse. Can you see it? And this is a wonderful message. The eclipse has the potential to bring healing. Wow. Never seen that so clearly. And the condition is if we have the ears to listen to our true That's all I wanted to say. Much love to all of you. Have a wonderful evening.
Just the way